Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to everyone and happy Monday to you. Hopefully, the beginning of the work week is treating you guys well so far. And hopefully, you guys also enjoyed that new intro. I finally was able to take some time this past weekend and do a little bit of studying to see if I can figure out a little bit more about how in the world this thing is supposed to work and all the different settings that you can be putting on there and stuff. And I think I've definitely made some progress. I'm working on just making things a little bit prettier as time goes along and the channel grows. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it and really looking forward today. It's going to be a good match. Let's go ahead and hop into it and we'll start talking about it as we go along. The title of this one today is I took an awful risk. And there's a big reason why. Oh, I need to see about fixing that. The title of today's is I'm taking an awful risk. And the reason for that is frankly because, well, you'll have to see it here. I'll go ahead and introduce my opponent. We'll take a look at his roster a little bit, and then we'll get into some of those details. But we are going up for first place in this GAC round against our opponent, Andruk. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Coming at us from the land of the Battalion Breakers. And as far as roster-wise, well, I was kind of hoping to actually show the roster before we got into that. You guys will see. Spoiler alert. All right, so character-wise, we're pretty evenly matched, the same amount of GLs. He does have about 600,000 more GP than I do. And he's got Jabba and Ray, whereas I have SEE and SLKR. I would honestly take Jabba over SEE any day of the week, but Ray, SLKR, it kind of depends on how you're using them. And then as we go on down here, does have the Grand Inquisitor along his lineups there, and R8 Malik, does have Ben, does have Maul, Malgus, and then a lot of the other good stuff, Star Killer down here somewhere. So he's got a good roster, and then as well as an Omi Treya down there, only up the Gear 12, and that is going to be a battle we'll talk about in just a little bit here. And then Datacron-wise, he does have a lot more inventory than I do, and then some really thick ones in here. So I really, really hate those 15% protection and stuff in there. That doesn't have that one, but I did look through there. He's got some of those 50% protection and health crons in there that are never a particularly fun time to deal with. However, looking at our opponent's roster, and I came across ships, and I saw an advantage. So if you guys are seeing the same thing that I am, he does have an executor, so one meta fleet is going for him, but he does not have the profundity. And typically, I kind of fall into the same boat, sort of. Around this level of Kyber, you usually have both the profundity and the executor a lot of the time. So when I noticed that he didn't have the profundity, and also that his Chimera, while still 7-star, and he does have a 7-star TIE Defender around here somewhere, there it is, but both Thrawn and Iden are Gear 12, so not as punchy as they normally are. But the main thing was I saw a lack of a profundity, which currently is the primary counter to the Leviathan, and knowing that I had that in my arsenal, this is actually before I even got to this round. The other day I was driving home, and not that I think about, you know, my strategy in GAC all the time, but in this case scenario, I was thinking, I wonder when I might want to put Leviathan on defense. And it probably need to be if my opponent did not have a profundity. Because usually if you got both the profundity and the executor, a lot of opponents will run with profundity offensively and then executor defensively. I don't know why. I think there's, you know, advantages to both, but that's just kind of the pattern that I've seen. And in which case, you're basically just throwing away your Leviathan at that point. You might as well just use it as the executor counter and then only have 2 other fleets to worry about. So, seeing this in there, I took a bit of a risk just because I wanted to see if this would pay off. I wanted to, you know, let's play a little bit higher stakes, try and have a little bit more fun with this stuff, and don't go with the typical meta that I've been running recently, which is basically just gunning for a full clear and then, you know, holding all my GLs and all that for offense, and you know, it just ends up being a slugfest. So earlier today, our opponent did go through and started working his way through my teams, and I was actually watching it as it was going along. He started down south here, and just like our last match, it had just the usual lineup here, our Malgus, and then our split Revan team, and then just some of the usual suspects as fillers. But then down south here, we'll talk about fleets last. Down south here, kind of taking a leaf out of my last GAC, I went ahead and decided to go ahead with that same Basti JML team, at the very least to hopefully get a hold, which we did, and then double that up with the Omitrea team as well. Knowing that, let me back up a little bit. I did go through Andrew's GAC history for the last round, and I noticed that it didn't change the entire last round. So again, not banking on it, but kind of optimistically hoping that he's going to follow that same pattern this round. I planned my offense accordingly, so that if he does run this exact same thing, let me try this and see how that's going to go through. And if that does work out to be the case, then he would only have 2 GLs to work with, as well as a lot of other off-meta teams that it can definitely do some damage. But as he was going through it, he cleared the front without any issues there, no drop battles, and then kind of bounced back and forth between the back wall and then my front north here. The front north was kind of designed to give the impression that I wanted to corral him into fleets, and I did, but the main thing was I wanted my Malgus to be down south. I was kind of hoping that he would drop a GL on that just for the safe battle to get through that, and then have one less GL going into the back wall where he'd have the Omitrea team and then that random JML team in the back there to contend with. But when I looked at the Malgus battle, that it was a 55 banner one, and if you're going with a GL against him, you're probably going to be a little bit higher than that. So I'm assuming that he probably ran his gas against that. But then anyway, he came back up here and just started kind of going back and forth a little bit, saving that JML team for last. And then for whatever reason, our JTR team there showed up in a big way and got not 1 but 2 holds. I am definitely considering this to be an outlier data-wise. I'm not going to start thinking, oh man, this is definitely a good team, I'm going to start running this on defense every single time. I'm assuming he was probably going in for some budget wins there, saving up whatever he could for that JML team and the Omitrea team, which actually fell like a wet napkin. So I'm guessing that he probably ran with one of his 2 GLs against that, which was definitely smart. But then this one there, it bought us a little bit more wiggle room. So between these 3 battles here and then the 2 for the JML team, we have 50 banners that we were able to snipe from our opponent, 2 times 20 for the missed first attempt, and then 10 additional more for the missed second attempt right here. So this was definitely a welcome blessing there that I wasn't expecting. But you guys probably noticed that I have my executor right here. So I went ahead and decided to do something. As you guys probably noticed a little bit ago, he has a strong Radis on his side, which by the meta currently, it can be used to counter a Leviathan. You're really shooting for getting to the point where you're able to use your ultimate before that one, and then you are sacrificing your capital ship. But if you're still have your tank up, and then especially if Malgus is out on the Leviathan side, then you might be able to pull it through as a one-shot. But your worst scenario is that you can at least take out the Leviathan, come in with a cleanup. The Sith fleet is it still hits decently hard, but without all the bonuses from the Leviathan itself, you'll be able to get through it. But again, based on the GAC data, I saw that he typically drops both his Executor and his Radis on defense, which means that he'd have his probably his Negotiator to work with, and then his Chimera and his Finalizer and some of the other smattering of fleets there, but not enough to really get through a Leviathan in one shot. But I figured, tell you what, let's say that he does get through Leviathan in one shot. What can I do in order to completely deny this territory? I can drop not one, but both of my meta fleets. So our Leviathan is indeed today making its debut on our defensive line. And when he got to this point, this was the last territory that he got to. He did go in and down my home one, which was just a filler team. And I don't know if he is kind of waiting to see what I do, or if he's looking at this going, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. Either way, I was kind of planning for him to get through at least one of them, but probably not have enough to get through the other one. So at this point, with the other drop battles that we have in play, and assuming that this kind of holds here, we have a decent amount of wiggle room to work with. And the first thing that I want to say is I did send an invite out to Andrew when I saw his run today. It was a very, very impressive run. I could tell that he was going through it slowly and methodically, really thinking about things. It was some great strategy. That JTR team, again, I'm assuming that was just some attempts at some budget wins there to kind of hold some other teams for that JML in the back. And you know that happens. It's happened to me plenty of times. I know that it's not fun, but everything else did a phenomenal job. I'm really enjoying this Grand Arena so far. And now, now the work is over to me. So in just a moment here, we're going to look at our GAC game plan. But this is what we're looking at on defense. So he did drop his Ray, and as you saw in the graphic a moment ago, his Jabba is up north. But aside from the Ray, there's not a whole lot of heavy-duty teams in here. Obviously nothing that I'm going to underestimate, but the Ray is definitely the one that I am most worried about so far in what he has on defense. Primarily because she's an R8 and she has been. I am so happy to see that JTR is not in this lineup, because that one almost always results in a 2-shot for me, especially when I go up against it with Starkiller, which is my plan. And then also the lack of a Datacron is another thing I'm just very thankful for. So Haldo in there is one of the easier compositions of this team to deal with, but the Ray being R8, that I definitely don't like. I'm still fairly confident my Starkiller can get through it, but we're going to have to see. And then if we pop up north here, we are dealing with his own Malgus team with the Twin Towers, not up to the R9s quite yet, but only an R4 Malgus, but he does have all 3 Omicrons. No Datacron, but still not a team to play around with. I have the CLS team, I'm sorry, we're probably going to use CLS in this, but the Qui-Gon team, Bounty Hunters, an Omi Treya team with no Savage Omi, and all Gear 12, but still has the Omicron. And then down here is our R7 Jabba, R5% and Bausch Leia with no Datacron. So this one we're going to be running with our JMK against, taking a look at the data with no Omicron on defense. It is a slightly lower win percentage, I think in the low 90s, versus an SLKR, which is the high 90s. But the problem is I don't have my Watt and I don't have my Hux to run along with him, and he can still do pretty well against this one. I do have my my First Order Officer and my KRU to kind of hold down as a tank for a little bit, and I'm assuming that it would be fine, but it's a lower banner potential than with JMK. JMK, you're going to go in, probably lose your tank Kenobi to the ultimate, but then by that point you'll probably have gotten through Bausch Leia as long as you save up, go to get your ultimate as quick as possible and get her out of there. Now you only have Jabba and Crescent to deal with, and then again with no Datacron on there, it's going to be a little bit easier. So let's take a look at our game plan here, and the audio might yeah, it's going to, I need to make sure that I'm looking into that. Let me turn that on. I now have a whole lot of new settings on my stuff that I didn't have before. This is okay, but yeah. I haven't quite got the hang of all this yet, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me. So anyway, this is kind of what we're working with. The good news is, again, I planned this out based on what I saw in his GAC stuff before, and thus far it appears that he's running the exact same thing that he has prior, which means that I'm comfortable with assuming that we're going to be looking at the exact same teams in the back here, which is going to be some Night Sisters, an Iden, a Rolo, a lower gear Radis, and then some Jawas. And then as you notice here, I've got some things worked out in such a way that, although I'm really kind of counting on the Starkiller to take care of Rey and Ben, assuming that that doesn't go well, I can maneuver things around a little bit. Like you can see here, I've got my SLKR in reserve. But then I'm hoping that this just kind of pulls it through, and then the rest are just going to kind of fall like dominoes if everything goes according to plan. And then if we are able to pull that off, we'll have our SLKR and our Maul in reserve, and then also our Jedi Knight Luke. I don't know why I didn't put him in there, as well as our Hermit Yoda. And then going into the fleets here, if that Rey team goes down, I'm pretty comfortable saying that we'll probably be able to clear all the character territories, and then we're going to go into the fleet battles and hope that I get some good RNG with the Chimera today, because as you guys have seen, I'm about, well, maybe I'm about 60-40 right now, 60% win rate of Chimera versus Executor, and it's not the 3 attacker formation, which is a little bit easier to deal with when it's just a Houndstooth out there, because the sequence is roughly the same. But still, I'd like to just be able to make that happen, and get that cleared out of there. And then it's going to be our Negotiator and our Malevolence up against his Malevolence and the Radis, which I'm assuming he's got on defense there. And then if we are able to pull that off, then it's going to be a full clear. But if we can't get this Executor out again, just kind of that added bonus of having both the Leviathan and my Executor still standing, and then add that into some of those drop battles that were in there before, and I think we've got a pretty good chance of pulling this out here. But we're just going to have to see. So let's go ahead and hop back into our game here. Hope you guys like those transitions. I really enjoy them. And we are going to go ahead and get to work. So I am in the chat here. Scoundrels of Solus believes in you, Vex. All right, Jago, it's good to see you, my guy. I also have a monitor over here now so that it's a lot easier for me to see the chat there. So shout out to one of my guildies here, Jago. We're going to see if we can pull this out and make it happen. And then I do see that we have another viewer in here. I'm not sure if it's Andrew or not, but again, I did send an invite to him. I'd love for him to join. I really like experiencing things as a community. And again, I know that we're opponents at this point, but it's all about having fun. And you're pretty well stacked here. I'm going to need to see some good luck with this raid team. So that's what we're going to go ahead and start off with here. Let's go ahead down to our Empire. And let's grab our Palps, our Mara, and our Star Killer. And where are we at? Unaligned Force User. There's our Star Killer. We are going to go for one of our crit damage. Where is that one? This here. And the defense, as well as we're not going to get any dazes in there. We are going to get some stuns in there. So, I mean, it'll help me to recover a little bit of protection there. But the main thing is running with that extra defense, make me a little bit more chunky, but then more importantly, the crit damage to try and get Ray down there as quickly as possible. So here we go. Up for first place, folks. Let's start making this happen. Everything looks good. I always get nervous going into this battle. So I was doing some research beforehand, and I actually found out that apparently, I'm not doing it wrong per se, but a lot of folks recommend not using the middle special first, but using this one here, because your main thing is you want that to happen. You want to get some stagger out there and some shocks out there, and then do the buff the spell on Ray to get the critical hit immunity off of there. And then at this point, as he got a shock on him, he does. Now we have control of the battlefield when we do this stun. So I know that he gets the shocks off of there, so it's not quite as big of a turn meter train, but that is really fast. We get it. Oh man, we got her into the yellow before anything happened. Okay, that definitely helps. So let's go ahead and keep on working on her to get that inspiration off. And now we got to start working on Ben pretty quick here. And he is chunky. Keep on going. Ray's probably going to take a turn. I don't like that, but that's okay. Go ahead and get some more shocks going out there and some stagger. Let's once again get this on her. And keep on going on Ben. Star Killer's going to pop with his ultimate pretty quick here. Let's get that inspiration off of her. Heal up my Palps just a little bit. Have not even used my buff dispel yet. This will get me to the ultimate. Is she going to go for her? Yeah, she's probably going to go for her ultimate next, which is totally fine. I'd really like to get Ben in the yellow before she does, though. And we might be able to pull that off. It's going to be really close. There we go. Okay. Probably one of the better case scenarios I've run into in a Star Killer battle thus far. So let's go ahead and start working on Hald over there just to get her into damage immunity as well. Here comes the ultimate. And let's get the inspiration off of her. There we go. And now we just got to wait for her to take a turn. Just waiting for her to take a turn. Not quite yet. Let's go ahead and toss this. Oh, I don't think that worked. Why did I do that? That was a misplay. Can't get any debuffs on her whenever she's in that deal. Okay, so we survived. That is great. Let's go ahead and toss this out. And let's work on getting Ben down. Almost. Do we have a stagger on her? It'd be great if we had a stagger on her. Okay, so maybe this will work. Get it. Oh, almost. Oh, there it is. Awesome sauce. I can't believe I said awesome sauce. I'm sorry. Let's see. And there's the full banners right there. Awesome sauce is such, I don't know why I use that. I don't know why I use that. I'm sorry. It's such a cheesy line. I apologize. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm just a little bit giddy that was probably one of, if not the best Star Killer battles I have ever gone into. Definitely not going to complain about that. Let's see here. What else we got in the chat here? By the way, locked up at first place. Did you, Jago, did you get the first place yourself? Fantastic. Hope you did. Hope I'm reading that right here. But let's go ahead and keep it going here. See if I can join in on the fun here. MT, is that you, my guy? Hoy hoy. You're gonna get some hop-ons. I'm not sure where that comes from, but you'll have to teach me that in a little bit. Well, let's go ahead and keep on going down the line here. So we are gonna go up against our Finn Heroes here with our CLS team. Rebels. There we go. These three. And probably get out Hero Finn first. And then go from there. So let's go ahead and see if we can get him down. Hey, it's not too fun, but that's okay. Probably be able to heal back up here. Can we pull back some turn meter on him? Nope. But that's okay. How about a stun? I'm trying to control the battlefield here. There we go. Just that way we can try and make this a full banner win here. I do not want to play around with this one. Want to make sure that we are getting as many banners as we can because our opponent did a fantastic job. Just all the battles that I saw, aside from obviously the JTR battle and the JML battle there, it was all like 54, 55, 56 banner wins. So good high win banners. Definitely want to make sure that I am playing up to that level as well. Okay, so we're going to take our Vader Thrawn team on this over here. Let's grab Vader. And I think Thrawn might just be a little bit further down. I get lazy when it comes to scrolling. There he is. Okay. This should work. I mean, they're all 12. Let's take a risk here. I mean, I already took a big risk earlier with the fleets there, so might as well just kind of keep that trend going. Let's see if we can get the spy out as quick as possible. Give this over to Vader. Get our massacre going. Get this here. We get the spy out immediately. Yes, we can. Get an ability block on the 3A, or we could just do that, and I won't complain about that. Okay. 58 banners there. Good deal. Moving on down for our Mon Mothma, we are going to run our Iden team, as we typically do. It's been doing fantastic. I still feel bad the other day. I completely forgot that she existed. I don't know if she's quite gotten over that yet. Need to bring her some flowers or something here. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. I feel like this is the same kind of composition. It's always an R5 Kyle Katarn, a Gear 12 Cara Dune, and then the Mon Mothma over there, whatever she's at. So we're going to do this, and are we just going to win it right here? Not quite. There's the revive. No problem. Give me some counterattacks. Give me some counterattacks. There you go. Counterattacks. That's good. All right, and then the buff dispel with this guy here. And that should take care of that. A little bit of crit damage there. And this should about do it. Awesome. Okay, another 57. Yes, indeed. Very, very clean so far. All right, and then our Poe team. We're going to throw our Geos in against this one. Just kind of one of the teams that I had left, playing for some budget here. And the data shows that this should be a pretty good one. They do regen health and protection whenever they go through it. So let's work to get Rose out of there, or at least ability block. Oh, we can't ability block because we don't have, I don't remember who does that. But we could just kill her. That'll solve that. Let's get some exposed going. Work on the resistance trooper over here. Get him out with a shot. And this may be another full banner one here. We will see. Accuracy up. That sounds good. Okay. There we go. 57 once again. Awesome deal. Okay, now is the clutch point. What do we have in the back? Okay. It is exactly what I was expecting. So this is good. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and... Trying to figure out if I should do this first or start working on the north wall there. Let's go ahead and work on the north wall. We'll come down to this later on. That way, in case we run into any problems at all, like with the Java team, we'll be able to maneuver around a little bit. Nope, not the Nagas first. Let's do the Java first. And there's our JMK. There's our cat. And there is our tank. And what do we got? Cron Wise, Armor Pin, Crit Damp. This is the one right there. Looking pretty good so far, folks. One more reminder for you guys, anybody that is available on Saturday from 12 until, noon until 3 Eastern time, we are going to be doing Starfield, brand new early access. I'm really excited about it. Just kind of get in there and start bouncing around the stars. I'd love for anybody to join the camp. Feeling like it's going to be a pretty good time. Okay, so right here, this is kind of what I expected. We're basically just working to get our way up to ultimate as quick as possible. Go ahead and keep her from taking any damage, but then also just get her up to where she can go our ultimate as soon as we get our our ultimate here. Wow. Might not even need to get to the ultimate. Okay. Got the blind on me, which I don't really care for, but we're holding pretty good here. All right, here goes this. Get everything off of me. I'm gonna do this. I know. But we're just about to get her out, and then going through Kersantin is like the longest part of this battle here. So that's fine, there he is again, but what I was counting on was being able to do that. And now we're already on the second Kersantin. So we'll be able to get through this a lot quicker here, and then with the sheen on our Kenobi over there, we're just gonna ramp up and ramp up and ramp up. And then probably around the 2-minute mark, give or take, is when we're gonna drop a nuke onto Jabba over there. How close is he to his ultimate? 48%, yeah. Okay, so let's just go ahead and keep on getting those out-of-turn attacks, ramp up even more. Here's some more out-of-turn stuff, ×2. And let's just keep it rolling. Might be able to get out of this full banners. Kersantin is definitely chunky, though. Is Jabba open? Jabba's open. That's okay. That's okay. Can I? No, I'm stuck behind him. That was a misplay on my part. I didn't realize Jabba was open, and I could have gone for him, but that's okay. He's still 54%. Let's go ahead and do the ultimate here, and then let's come around to Ahsoka and see if she can drop that nuke. Let's do one more ramp up here. You're going next. Is this going to do it? 3, 2, 1. Oh, not quite. We did get the armor shred on there, and we'll be able to get him out pretty quick here. Got 2 minutes left. Need to keep on working. We're going to get another one from her pretty soon here. Can we just work on getting Jabba out here? Because probably should have let it ramp up a little bit more. And let's just keep on going. Put that. There we go. Okay. Cool. And yeah, not quite full banners, but without a loss, I will definitely take it. Okay. 55 banneroos. I went a little bit off the script on that one, but it worked out pretty well. Okay, so these guys. I have my Gas going up against him right now. Gas is going to hurt himself a lot with his out-of-turn attacks, probably go for a nap. And then I would lose my 501st pretty quick after that. By the way, my 5s is finally up to R5, about to get my my Rex up to gear 13 and then start relicking him up. But for right now, they're both still gear 12. So here's what we're going to do. I feel like we have this in a wrap. And I am after maintaining my banners. And I've said this numerous times, this even at gear 12 and without the tank. Even with gear 12, without Savage, it still is not a team you want to sleep on. And right now I'm trying to garner as many banners as I can. Okay, so here's this. Let's see if we can get the poke on Darth Grey over here. And then probably gonna get, I was thinking we're gonna get some pain. Oh, there we go. Well, that just made life a lot easier. I was thinking we're gonna get some pain from Cyan over there and have to get around that farm. This is probably way overkill, but again, we're talking about banners here. I do not want to underestimate my opponent. His GAC history is stellar. Wins a lot of his matches. And I can tell that he's somebody that really thinks about what he's doing. Doesn't just go in blindly and start whacking things. So, mad respect to him. I do not want to underestimate that. Okay, so let's keep on working here for our bounty hunters. We are going to run our troopers on this one. Might be a little bit of a complication with the grief over there, but I don't think it'd be too big of a problem. Go ahead and run these three. Don't need any datacrons here. Let's just keep on going. Okay. All right, and that's a little trippy. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark down this guy. We're probably going to get ability blocked by, or we could just do that. It'd be really nice if Grief without a stealth there. That way we'd probably kill him and we could have turned the trend immediately. But that's okay. That there. That'll work. 3 is always fantastic. And I think at this point we've got the turn meter train on our side, coming out of the station, and this will probably take care of Boba. Yes, it does. And now we're basically just going in on Bosk here. Probably will get a turn pretty soon here. Let's just do a basic for right now. And might snipe some of my banners. Heard if you didn't, dude. Just use your taunt. Just use your taunt. Okay, yeah, use your taunt. Yeah, there goes some banners. Oh, well. Okay, so let's get some buff dispels going here. Let's get some turn meter train going. Just keep on going. And come around to a mass swarm pretty soon here. That's annoying. You got to stack off me, but that's okay. Okay, and then... well, let's do it. Probably not quite. And we're going to get counter-attack, which is kind of fun. Alright, so let's get one of my stacks back here. That's annoying. Okay, so let's go ahead and from stealth, not going to worry about any counterattacks. This one will. That's annoying. Okay, will this do it? There we go. Okay. Basics over here. One more shot to the face, and this will about wrap it up. That's annoying. Get him out. Get him out. Jeez. Grief. Quit giving me grief. Yep, I said what I said. 55 banners. Was not a pretty battle, but it's a win. I will take it. Okay, and then... gonna use JKR versus Qui-Gon. And let's go ahead and grab out our SEE. Now, our Watt is over on defense, did his job, got a hold for me. But that still leaves us with these guys here. And we're going to do the same thing as before. The main thing with this one is just to have Sith that'll die and then heal up Palps again. We're going to go for Malagus to get him out, and then Malik to get him out. Malik, there we go. This is basically what I do if I don't have Watt. I would prefer that I can only get somebody else. But if I don't have Watt, then I just grab some Sith meat shields. It tends to work out best. Alright, so keep on going with the basics here. Not going to get any protection back, but that's okay. And then pretty soon here, somebody's going to go down, which will help me out. Let's get these buffs off of me. And let's get some protection back on our assassin. Okay. Really nice if that deception would start coming in handy here. Okay, Malagus is taking a beating. There we go. Okay, it should be coming up to our ultimate pretty quick here, like about now. Might be able to get through this without any losses here. Not going to get the stun off, but maybe get a shock on. Nope. But we can do that. Wow. Why did it not go that well for me before? Well, it was because I was using gas, but it never goes that well for me. like an R4 Malgus is like my bane of existence apparently, but whatever. Okay, so let's grab our JKR. Here it goes, and then our Yoda and our Jolie, whatever it is. Let's just keep on rolling, folks. Let's work on getting. We're just gonna have to get Qui-Gon out, and then take the punishment. Anakin is not on this team, so at least we don't got to worry about a nuke. But Yoda is still gonna hurt. Yep, it's where it gets fun. It'd be really nice if I could get some foresight on him. Yep, there's the saving mechanic. That's okay. Let's go ahead and start working on Yoda over here just to get rid of that threat. There's our foresight. And it's not fun. Let's steal some buffs here. And well, I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, there's foresight of his own. Let's give this a round. Probably gonna have to get. Oh no! Here we go. Open it up. Almost. I don't remember what that thing is called on Mace whenever he taunts, but there we go. All right, so goodbye to Master Yoda. I don't know if we're going to be able to do any real banner management here. I mean, we're pretty close. Let me get some protection back on Yoda. Maybe try and get some protection back on Jolie over there. And maybe get some back. Okay, 56 banners. Just dropped one banner there. Not a problem at all. Okay, 2 front territories cleared, and what do we have here? Yep. All right, so it is exactly what I was hoping it was going to be, honestly, with the Radis over there on defense. That's probably why he didn't make an attempt on my Leviathan. But we're going to save our fleets for last and start working on the south here. What do we got in chat here? It's from Arrested Development. What walk tech would I use for Darth Vader versus Geos? Probably the protection one, mainly because you don't want him to get ability blocked. And then you recover. With the Geos, they're still going to hit you a lot, but I'm not nearly as worried about the health so much as I am worried about keeping that protection up. But again, more importantly, making sure that Vader stays where he can drop his massacre as quick as possible. So I would always go with the protection up for that one. R5's Geo. Yeah, still probably the same thing. It depends on what they're running. I think, who is it that does the ability block? I think it's Poggle. And you're probably not going to see Poggle on there. So if you're running up against Spine, the soldier, which is per normal, that's a tough one. Because you could also throw the weapons tech on there and you're going to get more turns. The anti-revive is not going to work on the brood, the summon over there. That's a tough one. And also you're getting health and protection back with every character's turn versus the protection tech, you're only getting it on your turn. So probably a toss between the two of them. I might experiment with it a little bit. You could probably do just fine with the health tech on there. Just keep them a little bit longer. Then since you don't have to worry about the ability block, now that I'm thinking about that out loud, you probably won't have much of an issue with being able to keep your massacre up and so on. And then when you got your massacre up, you are also recovering your own health protection every single time you're making a loop there. Okay, so let's see. Chief Nebbit, Dacia, no engineer. I kind of missed that one. The whole idea of bringing this guy along was because he takes a reduced damage from the thermal detonators, but it doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about those there. But then also, hold your horses, buddy, hold your horses. It's because we can get protection back. And we still got the banner. Well, I mean, it still worked, but it was a little bit overkill there. Okay, so we've got, let's save our Wampa for last there. So let's go ahead and use, since we have our gas, we'll use him to deal with these guys here and enjoy the last time of these two being non-relicked. By the time the next 3v3 rolls around, I want to have both of these guys up to relic 5. I already have 5s there, so this is looking forward to that. It's going to make things so much easier. All right, so can we just get her out? Close. That'll do it. And then no revive there. And, yep, full banner win there. Okay. All right, and then for our... Who are we going to do for our Rolo team was... Oh, yeah, Rolo team, we're going to do a solo Malik. They are relicked up, but my Malik is an R9. And he hurts. Also, all those crits are going to keep this team pretty much constantly locked down with fear. We are going to go for Capcom Solo first over there, just to make sure that we don't get any surprises from him. And then get him out as quick as possible. Okay. Days isn't too fun, but I don't think it's really going to make a huge difference here, because we're just about able to do that. There we go. Probably put it on auto at this point here. And go for Rolo next. Okay. Good. Okay. Then Lando Calrissian is going to be last here. After that, we're going to be going up against our Radish team there. We're going to see about using Dash. I know that it usually recommends with these guys that you use, and he does not have the Omicron, so let's go Scoundrels and see what we have. Scoundrels, where? There we go. Dash, and then show him. We could do cheese, but I don't think we really need to. Yeah, let's grab Bosk for the top there. Why not? It's mainly Dash's firepower that gets the job done here. So there's that. Okay, what's her face? Jan does have the anti-death thing as long as. Whoa, that's not good. Yeah, it was all those exposes. Ooh, I misplayed that one bad. Okay. This might actually end up being a bust, because I don't know if we have the damage to get through them, and they're going to get to the thing pretty quick here. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can get a stun. Nope. There's a revive. Ooh, we misplayed this one, folks. Ooh, we misplayed this one. All right, let's see if we can get him out of there. Yep, he's about to get up to the ultimate there. Let's see. Yeah. That hurts. Woo. I wanted to see if maybe we could get somebody out and then go in, but if this doesn't work, yeah. Okay, let's back out. Back out. Okay. Don't want them preloaded Terminator. Yeah, I misplayed that one big time. Okay, so we do have our JKL in reserve. That one will definitely do the trick. That was a mistake. Learn from that one. Let's see here, and then we'll grab a tank here just to increase our chances. And this should do it there. I mean, it's basically going to keep them on lockdown. There we go. Heal this up a little bit. And as soon as we can come around to Luke, there we go. And that should about do it there. Keep him stunned. Get Radis out pretty quick here. Give him over to Jedi Knight Luke. There he goes. Yeah, oops. Yeah, I underestimated these guys. I forgot about all those exposes they gave you. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Well, 20 banners dropped there, but that's okay. And then our Wampa over here. Then we're going to go up north and see what we can do. Okay. Some counterattacks. Probably come where we're going to get protection up there. There we go. Okay, now let's get some counterattacks going. Get on there. Get in there. There you go. Keep on going. And ramp it up just a little bit. Got to wait for their revive to fall off. Okay, this should get him out. Almost. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll work on Death Trooper over here. Oh, let's ramp up a little bit. And now let's work on the Death Trooper. There we go. Gonna have to go through a revive. Oh, nope, it fell off. Ah, there we go. That worked out. Okay, so let's see where our banner count just landed at. Okay, 1624. All right. Let's check out our opponent real quick just to see. Okay, they haven't gone over there yet. Let's see here. All right, so we are going to run our Malevolence against these guys here. Data shows that that is the best counter with this particular composition. Okay. So while we're waiting on this one, I have something I'm trying to figure out. In the past, I have had some opponents that have... like, I've made some mistakes and I get stuck somewhere, and then they will go and do just enough damage to beat me, but then they'll stop. And in the past, I was thinking that that was kind of a snarky move. Like, you know, you could finish me off and you wanted to do me courtesy. And I was like, if you're going to go in on me, then you better, like, go in all in. Like, curb stop my face to the ground. I don't want you doing this whole, like, going easy on me or whatever. But a thought occurred to me the other day that I wonder if the larger the margin between your scores, like if you get stuck and you only clear one territory, for example, and then your opponent completely full clears you, you're obviously going to have a pretty big difference between your two score counts. If that has an effect on how far down your the loser goes. Because if it does, then those folks might have actually been doing me a kindness by just trying to reduce how much of a hit I take. And if that's the case, I'd feel kind of bad. But I'm wondering that because if we get through these things here, then I'm going to have a decision to make as to whether or not to go for his executor. All right, so we need to start working on... Oh. Why isn't it closed? Okay, we're going to start working on Ray. But anyway, that's kind of the decision that I'm wondering about, is what if I do get through both of these ships here, do I go ahead and just do a full clear, or do I reduce the hit that our opponent is going to take to his standings? I don't know. We'll think about it. I really need to get Ray out of here. Let's get some buzz threads going around. That should be it. Okay, that'll help. Let's get some more buzz threads going over here. And some more buzz threads going over there. Now the AoE is really going to hurt if we can come around to that again. That was a wasted point there. Okay, so our... I'm going to grab somebody out just because we're losing a lot of people, and I don't want to rely on just my spy to carry the battle here. And let's see if we can get this guy out of here. Cool. And, well, one more reinforcement. Is that the... Yeah, it's the resistance one. Annoying, but here comes our ultimate. Alright. Stun on the Radis there. Denied the ultimate. No protection for these guys. And some buzz droids. Walks away with a win. 64 banners. Okay. Yeah, Radis... I was just reading a comment from MT there. Radis can be a serious pain, depending on how well you're going in against her. All right, so let's go ahead and deal with our Malevolence over there. We are going to run our Negotiator. And this is not a pushover battle. Let's see how it goes. Galactic Republic. We are ahead on banners now. I just want to kind of widen that margin a little bit. Let's grab these guys out. Plo Koon. Tank here. And yeah, you. Okay. Not my favorite battle. Malevolence can pack a punch in the right with the right RNG. Gotta try and keep Anakin alive. Let's see here. Let's start working on. Sunfac. Let's see if we get some days going here. I'll take it. And then Sunfac's about to go out. This should actually hurt. That'll do it. All right. I did feed some turn meter, which I wasn't wanting to do, but that's okay. They used the cleanse on the wrong person, so I mean, I'll take that. Let's just keep on working over here. Let's get Plo Koon out to cleanse all these buzz droids off and throw the taunt over on our 5. There we go. And let's just keep on working on the local bomber over there. Okay. And Sith Fighter. Okay. I'll take it. Just keep on working on the bomber there. Let's get any loyalty going on folks here. And don't have any buffs in, so we can't get the retribution on our folks, but that's okay. And should we drop the... Yeah, let's go ahead and drop it. We have enough forces out there. Not trying to feed a huge amount of turn meter over, but as soon as we get the Sith Fighter out, that should do it. Yep. Okay. All right. So at this point, he would need to clear both my Leviathan and my Executor out in order to win this match. And honestly, I don't see that happening, especially seeing that he did indeed have Radis on defense. But look, I want to know if that's actually a thing. If I stick with this here and win it, and we're only looking at about 1,000 banner difference between the two of us, if that would reduce him down a little bit less than if I went ahead and full cleared and you're looking at about a, 1,400 banner difference. I don't know if that's actually a thing. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the chat there if you've heard about anything like that. I mean, even if, we're still counting on the on my Chimera to actually pull out a win here, and that's by no means a guarantee. I would like to practice. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and just go in there. If it does have a bigger detriment to my opponent, I do apologize for that. I wasn't entirely sure. And I just want to get some practice in here with this one. And for all I know, he can come back in and he could actually, like maybe he's got some surprises for me or something. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and run with our normal crew here, and then Interceptor, Shuttle, and our TIE Bomber. All right. Let's see if this works. See if this works. All right. I really want to get this sequence right. I do want the Houndstooth to take a turn, so I'm going to pump some turn meter over to him. No problem. Because I wanted to blow the taunt on somebody else other than Iden, because Iden can't dodge that thing. We are going to do some basics for right now. Okay, there goes him. Get some dodges, good deal. Let's get some more of this going. Okay. Let's get a stun going this time. And let's just keep on working on him. Probably get... I was expecting to be a Xanadu, but that's okay. Would have liked to see a dodge there. Like that would help out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and bring out our Sith Bomber, because we are taking some damage at this point, and I don't want to leave it completely over to Iden. Buff Dispel. Okay, and at this point, let's work on IG. Let's get this open, and there we go. All right, so he'll back up. That's okay. Let's go ahead and get IG out of here to start rooting things down. Okay, more dodges are definitely not going to go amiss. See what I did? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so here's the Emperor Shuttle. Let's bring him out. Let's get some of this going. Kind of hoping to get him out, but that's okay. Let's start working. Let's just keep on working on the Razor Crest. Cool. And that'll about call it a day, folks. Let the first order. Ooh, man, that thing is about to fall apart. Okay. This should do it. All right. 63 banners, full clear, no drop battles. All right, folks. 2041 banners. I will definitely take it. Big shout out to my opponent. I took a big risk, buddy. I didn't know if this would be something that would really bite me in the butt. I have not had particularly great luck with the Chimera versus the Executive battle. This one was kind of an exception. But hey, I will take that one. So I went ahead and just decided to take the risk and put a lot of defense in there. Probably won't do that particularly often, but hey, you had a great run. I can tell that you're really thinking about those battles. I really appreciate that. And hey, take us, look us up one of these days. Always put this out there. You're definitely a solid player. If you're ever looking for another guild, here I am advertising for Scoundrels of Solace. We are a good crew of folks, and we're always looking for talented new players. All right, folks. Well, that's going to go ahead and close out the grand arena for today. We are walking away with that first place medal. And just as a reminder, this Saturday from 12 to 3 Eastern Time, we're going to be playing around in Starfield. Really looking forward to that, and would welcome anybody that would like to experience that with me on day one. But in the meantime, hope you guys also like some of the upgrades that I've made to the stream. I'm very proud of them. I'm just going to keep on working, spice things up a little bit, some more graphics, some better sound, and maybe an actual microphone one of these days, and not this little, earbuds thing there. All right, folks. I want to wish you guys a happy rest of your Monday. Hopefully the week treats you well. And in the meantime, be kind to each other.